Tomorrow's my birthday. It'll be almost 1 year from the day I brought this car home, so I'm just trying to get it on the road, maybe drive around on my birthday. That's the goal. Okay, so in order to make the rear bumper mounts for the car, I'm going to use the actual bumper mounts that came with the car. I'm just gonna chop off the little, I don't even know what you want to call it. I'm gonna chop this thing off the end, and then I'm gonna fasten my own way of connecting the rear of the car to the bumper itself, probably by drilling a hole through here. And we are good to go. Let's get this in the car. This is the actual mount that came with it. We're just gonna clip off the end, and then we're gonna find a way to mount these two together. Probably using that original bumper hole right here. So let's. We're just gonna clear. Woo! All right, time to make some custom brackets. I already have a 90-degree bracket here. I just bent the top into place, so we're tucking this back in here. I'm gonna take off this piece right here so we can have it nice and straight. Run 2 bolts in and then 1 through the top, and that'll be good enough to hold this. This actually is really well in place. It's not moving around at all. I just wanna give it some actual bolted brackets in the front, but that'll be good. I'm gonna do 1 on each side, do 1 in the middle, and then 1 toward the rear. And then obviously we'll go along the bottom, get the bottom. But right now, it's all just kind of popping into place. All right, we have both mounts done. Good to move on to the next one. Now I want to get focused on the rear of the car. We're gonna make the rear mounts connect into the actual bumper mounts now. Okay, so surprisingly, the original Ford bumper mount is almost dead in line with the BMW. I mean, actually it is dead in line with the BMW bumper mount. So I just drilled a hole through the center of this mount, and that's going to be our new connection point. I'm going to put a tab that runs through each on the top and bottom, and then run a bolt through the top and bottom of each and lock it down, and that'll keep that perfectly in place. All right, so we have the 2 of the first rear mounts are now bolted in. This one right here and this one right here. These are just little guide plates. This is literally just a simple solution to hold it in place while I bolt the rest, but I just want to make sure that nothing moves around. Now that we're in place, we're good to go. All right, we have the trunk off the car. All right, well, I can't use the original mounting brackets because they leave it on this weird angle. So I'm gonna have to make some new ones. And now I'm going to take some screws, and these are metal screws with actual hexagonal heads. We're going to use these and sink these along the entire way from side to side. And I already got 3 of them in. It's holding perfectly. Let's just keep it going. All right, on to the next one. It's down here. Just closing up these gaps here. Plate tap it in place, and I can finish bolting this. All right, we have the bottom of the car securely mounted in now. Oh, that looks so much cleaner. Woo! All right. All right, so we have our bolt mounting this in. It's going to keep this from bouncing around. It'll keep this front end nice, securely locked down. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, seems good. All right, so we have both screws in place now. We have the lag screw on one side because that's what I had to do. It's actually anchored directly into the frame right here of the BMW, and that is holding perfectly, and it's actually really tighter than I was expecting. Then this side we have the bolt with the nut on it, and this is also holding perfectly. Then I have my two brackets that I made up front. All right, then we have the whole passenger side of the car is now bolted in along the bottom, so that is perfect. Door I'm gonna have to line up. The door never actually closed right. Even when I first got the car, this thing never closed correctly, so I'm gonna have to fix this and figure out why it doesn't close correctly, but we'll take care of that. The rear of the car has both mounts in now, so we have the rear mount using the original bumper support, the actual bumper mount that came in the BMW, and connecting directly into the original bumper mount places of the Ford. So this is the rear end of the car. We're about to put two more bolts. I'm going to run two bolts through the back of the frame right here and go directly into the BMW. And we're going to lock this down here. I'm actually probably going to do three bolts, to be honest. I'm going to do one here, one in the middle, and then one on the side. And then the car will basically be locked in place. The only thing left to do after that is to get the driver's side of the car mounted along the bottom and to lock this fender in right here. And then we'll be good to take her out for a drive. This plastic and rubbery foam crap, it's basically just a sound deadening insulator. And it's the only thing that makes this hard, because every once in a while you gotta pull out a chunk of it. And it's really glued in there. So we now have the driver's side of the car fully bolted up along the bottom, except for this one piece right here. It is bolted in place. I just have to trim a little bit off of it, but not an issue. The front, we're about to do the fender right now, and then the whole thing will be good to go. And at that point, I'm going to take it for a little test drive. Got the bottom off, and then get this top piece out. There we go. And now we can use the hole that was originally there. Get our fender in place. Seeing it in the light, there's a few spots I'm gonna have to touch up on the bottom. I messed up a little bit of the body work, obviously, as I was doing this. So we're gonna touch up the body work. I stopped on the other side. Obviously, you see that I primed into a certain spot, and then I realized that I should probably body swap the car. And that's when I decided to swap. So I'm gonna finish priming the car, take care of the rest of the body work, fix the small things that got messed up along the way. The roof I'm gonna leave, and I have ideas for that. Well, obviously our headlights and tail lights light is on, check engine light is on. That's gonna be off soon. I have to do a few things, but headlights and tail lights are not hooked up yet, so of course all of those are gonna be on. The trunk light, I haven't removed the switch yet. I did get all 4 of the door lights off, so we're looking pretty good on that. Woo. Alright, so I have the garnish panel on. I have the original door panel that came with the car. This isn't going to be staying on permanently, it's just on for now. It's better than nothing. But we have the white trim piece on. I'm going to throw the rest of the screws in here now, get this mounted in place. But right now we're looking pretty good. Got the car out for its first drive, looking real good. Got some interior garnish panels back in, also looking pretty cool. This is just temporary, but I like it. BMW. Alright, so I just took the car for a little test drive and I'm loving it. It didn't make half the sounds that I thought that was going to make. It does rattle a little bit, but that's from the doors. It's the internal pieces. I'm going to tighten those up and hopefully that'll stop it. But no crazy sounds, no weird clunks or bangs or anything. It's holding up really well. So I did a good job. Now I'm going to get the interior garnish panels in and hopefully that'll clean up some of the interior look. But right now, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Well, while I have the car out of the garage, I figured I would tidy up a bit. It became a disaster in here doing this swap and trying to keep track of my tools and just random things became a bit of a nightmare. So while the car is out, I figured I'll clean it up. We have things looking really good in here again. Got all the tools tucked away. Everything's back in place. I'm ready for when I start the wiring on the headlights and the taillights tomorrow. Until then, hit that like button, subscribe, stay tuned to see where this goes because it keeps getting cooler, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.